When you're doing research, sometimes you may need to use databases. They have changed a bit in terms of how you access them. So you'll want to log into your WakeID portal and then look for one of these two icons, EBSCO or Britannica High. We're going to start with EBSCO. So I'll click on it and it may ask you to put in your username, and that is just your student ID number. So if you need to, remember username is your student ID number, and then it'll bring you to this site. Now, if I know what database I want to use, like I know that I am looking for biography, I can go to the Biography Reference Center. If I don't know, or I think it might be in multiple places, I'm going to choose this one, EBSCO Host Research Databases. I will open that up and it will bring me to a site where I can select all of the databases that I would like to search. So if you're not sure, you can either just use Academic Search Complete because that searches a whole lot of databases, a whole lot of articles, or you can even just select all of them, which may make it a little bit slower, but will make sure that you're covering all of the databases that we have access to. So I'm going to click continue, and this does not work just like Google. So you have to be a little bit particular about how you enter it. So if I'm doing a research paper on teenagers and computer science, then that's all I would have to type in. Now, once I hit enter and give it a moment, I have 2,692 articles that I've found. There's a few things I need to do. Over here, I'm going to limit it to full text because I only want articles that I can use straight from the database. I don't want to have to go find it somewhere else. Notice, though, that that limited me even further. That's completely fine. That's still 1,700 articles that I have to go through to see if I can find what I need. There are some other things you can do to either limit by source type. So if I only want academic journals, I would choose this one. You can look for words in the thesaurus so that you can look up different terms that you could search for that would give you even more results. So let's say, though, that I'm happy with my search right now. I'm going to go find an article that looks interesting. This one is kind of cool. It's complicated, but notice it's an ebook, and I don't think that is going to work for me in this particular situation because I'm doing research. I want a shorter article that I can digest a little bit better. So we're going to keep going until we find this one is interesting to me. It's an academic journal, and it's Girls Save the World Through Computer Science. So I'm going to click on that one. Once I make sure that it is something I want, and I can do that by reading this abstract that's right here. If it looks like an article that I would be interested in reading, then I want to make sure I go ahead and cite it so that I don't lose it somewhere. Because sometimes databases change, sometimes we forget what we looked up, and we want to make sure that we can always find this. So I just scroll until I see the MLA citation, which is right here. I'm going to copy that. And then I want to put it in my works cited so that I have it automatically. So copied and pasted. And then I want to make sure that I save it so that I can read it in my own time and take notes and things like that. So I click on the full text from Eric, and it will take me to where this one actually is. Notice now I have a button over here where I can download the full text, and that's what I want to do. I don't really want to work from links because sometimes those change and I might lose access to it. But here I'm going to download it so that I have it always. It gave me this weird title that doesn't really mean anything to me, so I'm going to put Girls Save the World so that I know what article that is. After I save it, I want to make sure again that I retain access to it. So the easiest thing for me to do to make sure that I have it no matter which computer I'm working on is to put it in my Google Drive. I can either drag it in or I can go new, file upload, and find the one that I just downloaded, which I believe if you can't find it, you can either go to recent or quick access depending on what kind of computer you're on. Find it, upload it, and now I have access to it always. Now, if those databases are not working for me, I could also use Britannica High, and this is going to be a little bit more like an encyclopedia that you would find in the library. So it does have some articles, it does have images, videos, it has all those things, but it's a little bit different than using a regular database. Same thing for the search terms. You're going to want to make sure that you have everything spelled correctly. And you can take a look at what comes up to see what would work for you. Now, notice they have articles, images, videos, and more. But these are not going to be academic articles that are published in journals. These are going to be more basic information about the different topics that you might be looking for. Like this one is going to explain what a database is. So not really the more extensive research that we were just reading about. This is kind of better for history, biography, that sort of thing. And that can be very, very useful, especially when you're doing some background information. But for the most part, for advanced academic research, I recommend using that first link, EBSCO, and going to Academic Search Complete.